You are sitting in your wedding hall, 500 guests, flowers everywhere, the DJ is playing, your Instagram is exploding, and in that exact moment, you have no idea that you just started a financial catastrophe that will follow you for the next 5,000 days. This is the story India doesn't want to tell you about weddings. Here are the uncomfortable facts nobody talks about at the reception. India's wedding industry is worth 6.5 to 10.8 lakh crore. That's bigger than India's automobile industry. It grows 11 to 15% every year, faster than your salary. An average Indian wedding costs 20 to 30 lakhs today. That's not a typo. 20 to 30 lakhs for 2 days. But here's the catch. Most Indian households earn between 3 to 5 lakhs a year. Do the math yourself. A wedding costs 5 to 10 times what your family earns in an entire year. Which means, for the vast majority of India, a wedding is not affordable. It's an emergency. So, what do families do? They borrow. 26% of couples planning their own wedding take personal loans. They borrow between 1 to 5 lakhs per function. And that's just one part of the wedding, not including dowry. Here's what nobody tells you about these loans. The interest rate is between 10 to 24% per annum. That's not a typo either. A 10 lakh wedding loan at 18% interest spread over 5 years means you pay 25,393 every single month. For a household earning 29,000 monthly, that's 87% of their entire income. That leaves them with 3,773 a month for food, rent, utilities and everything else. But wait, it gets worse. The total amount you'll pay is not 10 lakhs, it's 22.8 lakhs. Why? Because when you borrow 10 lakhs for a wedding, you're not just paying interest. You're also losing what that money could have made if you invested instead. At a conservative 12% annual return in the stock market, that 10 lakh becomes 17.6 lakhs in 5 years. You lose 7.6 lakhs in gains. Add that to the 5.2 lakh in interest, and the true cost of your wedding is 22.8 lakhs, more than double of what you borrowed. But here's what they're not telling you in the wedding advertisements. This is not just a couple's problem. This is an intergenerational trap. The bride's family borrows 10 lakh for the wedding. That's their entire emergency fund gone. They're paying 25,000 a month in EMI. Their income, 29,000. They can barely eat. Meanwhile, the groom's family receives the dowry, anywhere from 3 to 10 lakhs. So their balance sheet goes positive. But the couple, the newly married couple, they inherit the bride's family's loan debt. They now have 25,000 in monthly EMI while trying to earn their own living, save for a house and eventually have children. Look at what happens over the next 5 years. Year 1, they can't afford to have children. Not yet. EMI first. Year 2, their friends are buying homes. They are still paying for the flowers from their wedding. Year 3, an emergency happens. Car breaks down, parents get sick, they have zero emergency fund. They take another loan. Year 4, they're still paying EMI. They're still renting. Year 5, finally, the EMI ends. They have paid 15.24 lakh in total, and they are 5 years behind their peers who had a simpler debt-free wedding. They've missed the entire wealth-building decade of their lives. Here's what's actually happening economically. This is the controversial part. The wedding debt is a wealth extraction machine. Money flows upwards from poor and lower middle-class families to banks earning 18 to 24% interest, luxury venues charging peak season markups, groom's families receiving dowry, jewelry brands and clothing companies, event companies getting 300% margins, while all the rest stays downward with the bride's family and the couple. The bride's family is forced to collateralize their future with high interest debt so their daughter can have the perfect day. Economically, this looks a lot like indentured servitude dressed up as culture. The difference is, instead of landlord owning you, a bank owns you. Instead of debt being visible, it's hidden behind congratulations and Instagram likes. Now, the data point nobody wants to discuss openly. Dowry exists in 95% of Indian marriages. This is from a World Bank study of 74,000 marriages across India, despite being illegal since 1961. The average dowry has been stable in real terms, around 27,000 to 32,000 in rural India, but much higher in urban India. Here's the explosive part. Wedding inflation is 10 to 15% yearly. That's outpacing salary growth, which is only 6 to 8%. If this continues, dowry values will double every 5 to 7 years, while salaries take 10 years to double. Mathematically, every generation needs to go deeper into debt than the previous one to afford their wedding. This is a structural trap, a bubble. Here's more stats that should alarm you. Personal loans in India grew 24.5% year on year in early 2024. A meaningful portion of that is for weddings. 20% of all loans taken by young Indians in the 20 to 30 years old are for marriage. Couples are delaying home purchases because wedding loans consume their down payment savings. Some are postponing children for 5 to 7 years because of EMI burden. Youth are delaying marriages entirely not because they don't want to get married, but because they cannot afford the financial trap anymore. In India, many of us don't actually marry spouses. We marry EMIs. The groom gets a bride, the bank gets a slave for 5 to 7 years, your parents go from being your safety net to becoming your financial burden, and your children will be born into a household still paying for your wedding. The real question is, when will we stop calling this celebration and start calling it what it is? A wealth extraction machine disguised as culture. If this resonated with you, share it with someone planning a wedding. They need to hear this before they sign the loan papers.